Welcome to Groove Coaster.
Hello, and welcome to a solo stream. Since I keep opening this game every, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours and just, play through a bunch of them, I might as well, do it on stream. Why not? You guys are gonna have to let me know about the sound balancing, because the music gets very loud in comparison to the rest of the game, no matter how I set it, so, yeah. Just let me know how that all seems. Also, I hope my keyboard doesn't come through when I do this. So this has been my idle game for, I don't know, at least a few weeks now. It's very easy to just play a couple songs, feel my eyes start to tire out and dry out from the overstimulation, and then, stop. It's kind of like how the Nintendo games tell you to stop after a couple hours, except this one just, it's because you stop feeling good. This is not on phone, but this is a upright arcade machine, so it is in 9:16 when you play it. I don't think they ported Groove Coaster to iOS. Oh no, I think there's a version of it for iOS, but this one's Steam version.
You got GC!
So, normally the game plays with, two bumpers, kind of giant joysticks, that you can use on the machine, but there's no like proper controller support for the Steam version, which kind of sucks. I feel like that would lower the barrier to entry on some of the harder parts of these songs, but like it's fine. It's WASD and the arrow keys for the two separate bumpers, and it can be a bit difficult, especially for like me, because I'm not used to doing all of the I'm not used to like PC gaming, so I'm not like super comfortable with placement and stuff. So the white ones here are just you hit any direction with either of the hands. That's a hold. The blue buttons are hitting with both hands. There's a lot of nuance to it because you have to kind of get used to the colors aren't consistent, which I think is like one of the hardest things to get used to in this. So it'll teach you like, oh, you know, big spiky blue buttons are double hits. But some songs they'll be like orange or yellow, or for the extra ones it's white, so it's harder. So you have to kind of figure it out by the iconography instead of the colors, which it kind of tricks you into, I feel like, for the easier difficulties. A lot of the other iconography is pretty simple, like these ones that are the arrows, so you just hit in that way, like, you know, W for up, A for left, D for right, S for down. And you have to do some where you hit different directions on both of them, and it gets a little... It's complicated, but I feel like it's not, like, as hard to get into as maybe just watching it is. It makes it seem like. Let's see, what are there... And my favorite part about it, they just have like their current DLC is just like 4 Toho songs. So, you know, it's charming. But we won't do those yet. I like this one.
Select the difficulty. Let's play.
And it's got a good balance of like different sorts of like electronic tracks. It's got some like kind of dubsteps and kind of like weirder stuff, and then like, you know, your more traditional sort of like J-pop-y kind of stuff. I think the biggest barrier to entry is just the fact that the actual screen is like your biggest enemy, with the way that it changes your backgrounds and yeah, things like that. Like actually being able to parse the notes from the background is the hardest part, I feel. Now, I'm no, like, master at this, so yeah, I'm playing some of these on the second difficulty, but, you know, that's how it goes. The game doesn't punish you for trying to play above your difficulty level, but, like, you don't get to hear as much of the song that way, and so I don't like it as much, I guess, for this case. Another nice thing about this game is it doesn't punish you for hitting multiple, like, extra buttons. So if you have trouble moving from single to double buttons, you can just hit double buttons on, like, every note. And as long as your timing's right, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, QB, good point. I can imagine that this kind of game where it lurches and moves would make it even more difficult to, like, pay attention to the chart and everything.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
But I think that, like, kind of adds, you know, that adds something to it. It's part of the charm. What's another one I really like? Where's that one I just can't beat? Now me, I'm a real happy hardcore kind of guy, so I really like the song, and I get it. Oh, QB, you lied to me. I can't believe that. But I get this one, but I just can't perform to it yet. So yeah, I guess I don't know if the thing moves with it. I mean, a number of the those, like, these arcade rhythm games have parts of it that move, so I'd believe it. The Steam version is, like, nice, but I feel like it's very under-featured right now. It comes with 36 songs, which isn't bad, but then all the DLC songs cost $2 each, which is a little bit of a steep price unless you're a real, like, sicko like me. I guess Taito knows their audience, though, right? Like, these people are gonna buy it because they're big fans of the property. Diagonals are another thing that, like, on WASD is just, like, a nightmare.
Get the timing down just right to receive more great ratings and increase your score.
You know what, as, given that Thumper is described as, like, a rhythm violence sort of game, I would not be surprised if they made some variant, or, like, promised it in some, like, April Fool's kind of thing to do, like, it punches you in the gut. What would you recommend to someone who's into all this sort of music and rhythm games in general, but hasn't played a new one in, like, a decade? Like, what's the easiest, like, in terms of barrier to entry? In terms of, like, all the different games that are out? Let me think about that. While I do that, I'll do Night of Nights. I just today was able to beat this on hard, so let's see if I can, repeat that performance. Another thing about this game is that it has, like, an ad-lib function, so, like, if you're hitting on the beat with the song during the parts where notes aren't playing, sometimes you just get bonus points. And just does, and, like, I don't know, it gives you extra points and it, like, helps your combo meter. Sometimes I get too absorbed in the music to make sure to look for them, which may hurt my ranking usually. Like, I feel like that's one of those things that makes you, like, a real gamer in this game. As far as just, I guess, if the question is just what's good as far as rhythm games, there are a number on like mobile that are relatively free to play. Like, you just might not get the same consistent songs to perform, but one I'm really into is Voez, which is like a really good sort of I feel like it's got a really good sort of model where, like, it has song packs that you can buy, but it also has like a rotating list of songs that, like, either are like time context where, like, these are going to be here for the week, and so you get the chance to play those. I messed up at the end there, but you get like songs that you get to play for the week, or songs that you have to watch an ad for. It, like, I think that's a nice setup to it, and it's like really cool visually while not being like super difficult to follow. Like, I feel like the iconography is even more direct than a game like this.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
I played Archaea for a bit. Archaea is a little too abstract for me personally, but like that's a pretty good one as well if you just want to like get into the sort of game. I feel like it's a good what's the word I'm looking for? Like gateway. I don't think Groove Coaster's a bad start, certainly. The only problem I feel like is, like, the price point's a little high for what they provide right now. There's like an... I don't know if there's like a legal version to play it, but I feel like Poppin' is also a very like user-friendly sort of intro to rhythm games of this style. Because it's just like a 9-button... Well, it starts 5-button, but eventually is like a 9-button rhythm game, which is a lot easier to follow along with than something like this with like a more nuanced sort of iconography system to it. But like, yeah. I would not recommend, like, I don't know, Beatmania as an intro. I feel like Beatmania is one of those ones that you, like, have to really work your way up to, given that you're not only doing sort of this 7-button setup, but you also have to get used to, like, record scratching.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
Yeah, if you're, like, really into the set list, I think you can get a lot of money's worth out of this game if you're like really deep into rhythm games, just by the fact that like you have a score ceiling like all these other ones. Like, you can get the perfect 1 million, and that's sort of the thing you strive for, which with a lot of these is to max out your score in that way. Let's do this one. But I think as far as convenience goes, this is like, I don't know, this has just become my like go-to. Oops. I also really like songs and rhythm games like that where like things keep moving and changing. That real like frantic sort of style is something that's really appealing to me.
You set a new record.
Oh, yeah. QB, Voez is on Switch and you just like pay for it and get all the songs, so I feel like if you have the Switch and you don't mind playing a rhythm game on like a big screen like that, then that's probably the best way to go about it. So yeah, with the Switch, you don't have to worry about these like timed songs, you don't have to worry about the ad watching, you just buy access to the entire set list, I think. At least that's my understanding from talking to Jay about it. I don't have a Switch, so I haven't played it. I just play the iOS version. I still haven't figured out the difference between the green and blue lines, because you're supposed to like seesaw between left and right, but one of them is the bumpers and one of them is just on the same bumper, and I still haven't like really, like in practicing, I haven't actually noticed that difference.
Stage cleared. Congrats. You set a new record. I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
Alright, I'll do a couple more. I need to eventually unlock all these, but for now I'm kind of like, oh, it's easy to fall into a rhythm of just playing the same songs over and over.
Select the difficulty. Let's play Groove Coaster.
I find this game really aesthetically pleasing, which is probably the thing that brings me to the most, besides just like the convenience of having it on my computer in comparison to something like Voez, where I'm playing it on my phone. But it's definitely like abrasive. It's like it is extremely unfriendly to the player. Oh, I just did this one. Nope. It's like extremely unfriendly because like it doesn't always like display the notes in the way that you would want it to. Because it's like moving the camera all around and everything. So yeah, it's it's a game that is like fascinating aesthetically, and like it definitely has like a barrier to entry that I feel like a lot of other mainstream, rhythm games don't, like DDR. DDR is so simple in a way that this like decidedly isn't. So, Bad Apple here. Classic Toho song that I feel like more people recognize than just outside of, like, Toho fandom. And, it's a pre-order bonus for this game. I don't know if you can buy it right now. But this is literally the reason I, like, pre-ordered it, like, a day before it came out. I was like, oh yeah, Bad Apple. I love that song. And it's like a pretty good beginner song just because it's not super fast. And like not super complex. Also, recognizable songs tend to work better, but that doesn't work for here where I don't recognize a lot of the songs. So you kind of have to just get used to it. You kind of have to go by feel.
Stage cleared. Congrats.
Rakurai UK. Yeah, the syncing leaves something to be desired in this version of the game as well. That is something I hadn't brought up, like... Where is it? You can only adjust calibration by, 0.5 instead of, like, more granular, so I have to just go with, like, the closest approximation to what is comfortable for me. And I tend to hit notes a little early, so I feel like I adjust it so that the music is just a little fast compared to the buttons. What's another one I like? Yeah, it does seem like it's deliberately set ahead to, like, I don't know what they would have set it for. Like, I don't know what the... Like, it can't be, like, expecting them to have, arcade-style monitors. So I don't know what it's about. But I wish... It just needs to be a little more granular. Instead of, like, by 0.5, let me go by 0.1. Because I'm, like, in between the -1 and, -1.5 setting. I mean, this does not seem like the most polished PC port, but it's like functional, which I think is like good. Now I don't have to go to a Japanese arcade to experience this, but like it is definitely the optimal way for sure. But if I'm gonna buy an arcade machine as like a vanity project, I'm buying the terrible punching game that they made for the Fist of the North Star. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Rockerai. I just, like, especially with as many diagonals as the harder difficulties want you to do, I find myself, like, really unhappy with the lack of controller support. But that won't stop me. I'm addicted.
Select the difficulty level. Let's play Groove Coaster! Every day is so bored recently. Everything makes me feel ticked off. What do you say? Has been in recently. Is it normal to feel every day the same? What do I want?
I like that they put their own, like, theme song in as a playable song. Anyways, this section right here, because they're flying off out of the screen, I have like a really hard time keeping a chain here, which ends up being the thing that I think kills my chances to pass this song on this difficulty.
Get the timing down just right to receive more great ratings and increase your score.
Yep, still can't get that one. Oh well.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
Yeah, sure.
Difficulty level. Let's play Groove Coaster.
This is also the first rhythm game in a while that I've played where it really lets you know that you fucked up by, you know, dropping out the music when you miss a note. Really makes you feel bad, you know?
Stage cleared. Congrats.
Also, I've been thinking about this a lot since I started playing this, but the avatar that they've got here for, I think Linka is her name for Groove Coaster, is by an artist who also did work for like the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor games, and I'm really glad that it seems like he's learned a little bit since then that, like, you know how boobs work? Like, before it was like they were like weird balloons that were flying, and you know, this seems more restrained in a way that I feel like is appreciated.
Coaster.
If I pass this one, maybe this will be the last one. If not, I'll defend my honor some other way. Yeah, like, those notes I find really disorienting. In particular, the ones that are multi-directional, and that would be fixed 1,000,000% by having a controller. But no. You know? There's like a fix on... There's like a hot fix provided by the devs that's like, oh, go into your Steam settings in big picture mode and fix it. It's like, no thank you. Who do you think I am? Oh, well, I failed this one. Guess I have to regain my honor with another song. I don't know why I find that one so inconsistent.
To receive more great ratings and increase your score.
Yeah, thanks, Linka.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
There's the one I haven't played that I can beat on hard. I guess the Toho ones, but... Yeah, sure. I can't even remember which all the songs we've played. I just... This is the same way I do it in my... When I play on my own. It's like... I'll start playing and then I'll be like, oh, did I play this song? And then I'll play it again. It's like, oh yeah. And then I'll just do it again like 3 or 4 times. Anyways, my constant worry about going blind by playing this game has gone down significantly since I started playing it more. It's definitely like a reaction to the visual overload this game wants to give you.
Kicking it.
Oh, well, gotta keep going.
Get the timing down just right to receive more.
Yeah, thanks, Linka.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
Did I play Star Coaster? I literally don't remember. Yeah, well, we'll play it again.
Select the
If so.
play Groove Coaster.
Oh, no, I definitely did. Never mind. Now I remember.
Select the difficulty level. Let's play Groove Coaster.
There we go. This is a nice one to go off on. It's pretty chill. No, for real? No. No way. Ugh. Well,
Get the timing down just right.
yeah, I know. I know.
I'm sure you'll do better on the next song.
I don't play this one much. Why not that one?
Select the difficult. Let's play Groove Coaster.
Can I really be blamed for missing notes when Linka is my navigator? Yes. There we go.
Stage cleared. Congrats. You set a new record.
That's right, I did. Congratulate me. Well, Linka did.
Sure you'll do better
That's all
with
I
the
need.
next song.
Well, thanks for joining me. I didn't really have any other plans but just running some sets, so I hope you enjoyed our time with Groove Coaster. I really enjoy it, but I feel like in comparison to all the other stuff that you can access, there are probably more like fleshed out options that you can play, but this one is definitely like, it's fun. If you are an enthusiast, this is definitely like a game to get just from like an aesthetic level, for sure. And yeah, I don't know. I love rhythm games. Rhythm games are good. I'm like extremely okay at them. So I thought I'd show this off. Well, anyways, oh God, someone actually has gotten a perfect score on every song on every difficulty. Yeesh. Ugh. Well, see you guys next time.